Hello and welcome back to Jikoronpa. In the last episode, we concluded chapter 1. We found out who killed Daisaku, and it was one MAYUME Aikawa, who was honestly one of my favorite characters. I'm actually kind of very sad that she's gone, but you know what? I've processed this. I've processed it. Can't even say anything because I'm not just processed food. I'll be able to say the word, but no, I can't. But with that said, I decided that we're going to be doing well. When I finished the chapter, I was told that there would be extra content. Ooh. And I just had to read the Mayume and Daisuke scene, but there's apparently character interactions for every chapter too, so that's like very interesting. It's like, oh, I see. And I know that I can't actually. And yeah, if I go next, I'm pretty sure I'll see character interactions for later chapters, which will kind of spoil, so I don't want to do that. But I do notice that there's a lot of Mayume and Daisuke scenes here. There's only Toshi and Dia, Sinosuke and Shuki. And those are the only two that doesn't have Daisuke and Mayume in it. And there's a Daisuke and Mayume scene, which is going to be very interesting to see. But with that said, I'm going to go back and watch the specially tailored scene for Mayume and Daisuke to close their time in this game. Wait a minute. Yeah, so with that said, let's start the Mayume scene. Okay, I guess it's in voice acting then. Okay, time to get my expertise ready. Okay, here we go. Hey, that novel you've been writing in your free time. What's it about again? Although this is a person from Mayume's motor video, I believe. Oh, I told you before, didn't I? Just a few days ago. Well, the dementia's really getting to me. And you've been changing the concepts around a lot, haven't you? I mean, like, a month ago, it was this apocalyptic wasteland session. And last week you said you changed it to a science training camp or whatever. And I remember when we were kids and you came up with a new protagonist every week, too. I feel sort of bad for all the discarded ones. Well, my father still has my childhood drawings. So, they're technically not discarded. Though I don't remember much of any of them, unfortunately. May their stories live on in the cold depths of the storage room. Either way, I wouldn't be surprised if you completely changed the premise of your story. Again. But hey, that's my little indecisive Mayume for you. Tsukiko, I'm not that indecisive. I simply have many ideas. Too many ideas. So many settings, lines of dialogue, themes, character development acts. It's no wonder I have trouble deciding on which to keep. Call me when you manage to actually write down any of your ideas. Well, I wrote down that one about the archer and a friend. That fan fiction from middle school? That's the last story you completed? I can't believe the one time you're the most motivated is when you're in your edgy magical girl phase. What? You can't judge me for that. Every author has their humble beginnings. And I'm still in my edgy magical girl phase. Thank you very much. Humble. I guess that's one way to put it. um, hey, Mayume? Yes? This is probably a stupid question, but hey, why not risk it? Huh? When you become a famous author, will you remember me? Remember you? What do you mean? I mean, you're like amazing at everything you do, you know? Even if you struggle to pick one idea, you're so fucking creative and passionate that it amazes me. You're at the top of every class, get into every player club. Hell, I'd think you were some kind of robot if we didn't grow up together. I'm good at like some stuff, but nothing compared to you. You're like The perfect kind of person. The one everyone wants to be. Your creativity, your passion. You could go so far, Mayume. I'm surprised you haven't already. And I don't really expect you to want to stay grounded here, with a nobody like me, to stay in this crummy town. You deserve to be free. It's not like that at all, Tsukiko. We've been friends forever. You're half the reason I even made it this far. I can't do any of this without you. You're amazing, Tsuki. I'll be by your side, no matter what our future makes of us. You know I'd do anything for you, don't you? Yeah. I guess you're my little knight, aren't you? Always by my side, ready to protect me. Little knight? I'm taller than you. It looks cute when you get all flirty like that. Hey, come back here, Tsukiko. Catch me if you can, little knight. Well, considering how short these scenes are, I'm guessing I actually will be able to do the whole extras in one episode. But yeah, that was a really nice scene. I guess that's where her decision to be a knight and trying to teach everyone else to be a knight, that's where that originated from, I guess. But obviously Mayumi said they'd always be together no matter what, but clearly they got distant for some reason or other, so clearly she wasn't able to keep that promise, which is interesting. But yeah, there's not really much to say. It was just a nice, sweet scene. And time for the Daisaku scene, and I'm guessing it's gonna be with his siblings. Here we go. Who is this guy in the middle? He looks so tall, but his face and head does not match his body at all. It looks like the head of a 5-year-old on the body of a 30-year-old. What is this? Okay. Let's see here. No, that's not right. When will we be done with this nonsense? When you finally smile a bit. Maybe we shouldn't push him too hard. No, we're almost there. And scowl almost looks like a smile. I don't need to smile for any ridiculous painting. Just get it over with already, you fools. Is there anything I can do to make you smile, Daisaku? There's nothing. My face is incapable of that function, don't you know? I would rather, guess, for a random example, get hit with a hammer in my shoulder, neck, and jaw before I smile. Just give me a random example. Nothing. Don't expect some foolish reaction to your nonsensical behavior. Understand? I understand, but... You can do this, Lucien. His HP is getting lower every second you're here. HP? What foolishly are you spouting? Kanae? HP? Hell's Grund, what are you talking about? Kind and only like you wouldn't understand. She's kind of right. I mean, your hair is definitely white enough to look like an elderly person's. Kanae and I have the same hair color. Oh, do we? Yes. And maybe you've been under an ancient curse where your lifespan has been wiped away by half. Try a quarter. Curse. Did you two fools plan a ritual of some sort? Just a ritual to make you smile. Once again, let me make it clear. I do not need to grin for this painting. If you two continuously insist on torturing me, then I will revoke my volunteering for a portrait. Wait. Okay, I got this. Funny. Daisy's camera's in that bag, right? Yeah. Why? You can use a photograph as a reference, right? Yep. Prepare yourself. What? Hug time. You just let go of me. It's gonna cut right. Okay. Wait, is he dying? I got one. Good job, Lucien. I'll be sure to rig a paint of his cups. You'll regret this. Well, I suppose those were his siblings, which I'm kind of surprised about because from the motor video, I thought his siblings were like 10 years younger than him. I thought they were all like single digits in their age. But Lucien looks like he'd be an adult, and Kanae looks a lot much taller than I thought she would be. I was like, oh, okay. Clearly, I was completely wrong with their ages. But yeah, just another sweet scene. I don't have much thoughts of it at the moment. Just a nice scene to close off their characters. But what I'm really interested in, I'm going to go through all of these because I'm very interested. But to begin with, let's start with Asuka and Daisaku. Is there nothing in here? On. It's a technology room. It should have some kind of video game system or something back here. Fuck you. What? I just got in here, you fool. What did I even do to you? Shit. Damn it. I'm not swearing at you. I'm just annoyed and shit. It has nothing to do with you. Annoyed about what exactly? Fuck you. Oh, never mind. Whatever. Why do you want to know? It's not like we're friends, asshole. No, but when somebody suddenly insults you when you enter a room, you tend to want to know why. Can you resist this beautiful hair swipe? Whatever. I like video games. Okay. I wanted to see if there's anything I could play. Video games are useless. Okay, well, goodbye, everyone. It was nice playing this game. That's the end of this series. You'll never see me again. Video games are useless, so why am I even playing this? Bye-bye. Okay, I should probably continue. And I thought your family was more proper than that. Seriously, how did they raise you? A child in a frog costume. You, what the hell? You know about my family? The Kishitaka family runs in the same social circle as the Kuryanagi family. Didn't you know? I know I do. Of course I knew that. Your wealth is all the result of nepotism, though. Your parents are notorious for being stupid. Don't insult my parents like that. I bet the shitty assholes who raised you are 10 times as idiotic and freakish. They are. Well, wait, what? You aren't meant to agree with me. God, well, fuck you. The demons that raised me belong in hell. That's all I'll say about that. You're not even gonna try and defend them. Why should I? I despise them. I wouldn't care if they vanished off the face of the planet. Shit. I mean, I like my mom and dad. They're just overprotective. Better overprotective and caring than careless and strict. I guess they did disappoint my love of frogs, and they didn't get mad at me for running away. Running away, you say? Are we talking like a serious run away from home, or like you're like 8 and you ran away in the forest to live with the frogs? But still, they put me in that shitty private school. I hate them for that. I bet they would have pulled you out if you told them about it. Well, maybe, but you didn't want to disappoint them. I'm already a huge disappointment to my parents already. You're lucky, you know that. I know, I am. Be grateful that you have parents who support you. You're a fool for not realizing that sooner. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? It's not like I care. Well, obviously you do care, considering you're talking to me about this. I don't. You're the one who cares. You're the one who insulted me. I didn't. I didn't insult you. I was insulted. Did you see the painting? That painting looks disgusting. Why are you insulted the wall? Can't Darius, you had your breakfast. You, apparently, considering how furious you make me. Well, thank you for real. I hope you perish tonight in your sleep. Same to you. I hope someone hit you with a hammer over the head. Wait. Say that again. That made me feel something weird. I am a feeling I may regret saying that. I might regret saying that in the next few hours. So, what video games do you like? What? I'm bored. I may as well talk to you. Whatever. I like role-playing games, the fantasy ones. Well, Asuka, do I have news for you? My siblings play video games in their free time. They use their, EXP, whatever that is, to raise their HP, which I believe are health prawns. EXP means experience point. It basically means that the character grows wiser and stronger after a battle. HP stands for health points. Your character's health is a number, and when you're hit by an enemy, the number goes down. Raising your health means you're generally more defensive against opponents, so I guess that's the build your siblings go for. I prefer more offense and special attacks if they're available in a game. I didn't take you for a nerd. I'm not a nerd for liking these things. You're just out of touch. Excuse me. If I prefer more practical applications of things than pushing buttons to change a screen. Aren't you a photographer? You press buttons to make a screen. It's not that different. Photography is leagues more professional than your pathetic gaming. These games with photography as a mechanic, you know. What? How? Some games can have you change the 3D environment, who's the characters, place things, that kind of thing. Isn't it limited by the files contained in the game? Well, kinda, I guess. But it's not like real photography is completely limitless. Most photographers don't have thousands of dollars to spend on travel, so they have to take pictures of what's around them. I see. Are there any games focused on psychology? Yeah. There's games that give you an ending based on what you do. At least. Some of them are unlimited, but if you really expand the limits of what games can achieve. Some games have different endings to based on how you treat characters, or what characters live and die, or your character's traits. It's really interesting. It does sound intriguing. Off topic, well, not really off topic. On topic note, topic note. I would really like to play a game like that on this channel one day. So, do you have any games that are kind of like that, where the choices you make depend on depend on what end you get? Leave a comment about it, and because I'm not good at fighting those types of games. The only ones that I know of are The Walking Dead, which I've already know how that ends. So, cross it out. I've watched a playthrough of The Quarry, so that would be kind of boring. There's another one that was made by the same company as The Quarry, but I can't think of the name of the game. And then there's the Wolf Among Us. So the other one, but the other horror game that changes your ending depending on what choices you make. That was made by the same company as the Quarry. That popular one, which I'll remember later, or the Wolf Among Us. Those are the two like choose how you end games and choose your fate games that I know of that I could play on this channel. But I'd be interested if you guys know any more because those are the types of games I'd really like to play one day. Oh, not to mention the fact that so many characters have their own backstories and trauma. I read posts online before people analyzing the psychology of their favorite characters, and it's always so. Uh, Hell, you don't care about this shit. What am I even saying? Just fuck off. Wait, I want you to continue. What? Why? Just continue, damn it. I'm listening. Don't stop there. Well, okay, whatever. Daisaku sat and listened to me rambling about games. I don't usually get to talk about my interest in games in school, so it was kind of nice, I guess. Maybe he's not that bad of a guy if he really wants to listen to my random shit. Well then, God, Daisuke's voice is actually killing my throat. Originally, I was kind of sad that he died because I feel like Daisuke was one of my more unique voices, whereas I feel like Fuyuka Mayume, but Mayume said Fuyuka Seinosuke Mayume, Toshi Kazuyuki, and even Asuka, Mauen and Asuka. I feel like their voices are kind of similar, but Daisuke was one of the few people in this game who had like a very unique voice. And him dying first, like, damn. What if this game ends and there's just 5 people who sound exactly the same? Hikari and Chuki are another duo that sound exactly the same. Like, if those two make it to the end, God, I might have to change one of their voices because there's no way I can do. Like, if there's only 5 people left, and both Hikari and Chuki are there, I'll just be doing the same voice for 2 of the last 5 characters, which I can't do that. That would be interesting. But okay, how many are there? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I'm getting the second Daisaku and Mayume. Why is he standing there? Is he looking for something? Very interesting to see the interaction between the killer and victim of this chapter. I'm very excited to see how this goes. He had better not be planning anything. Not like I would ever do something of the sort. He has already made a mess out of everything here, and I would never make a mess. Are you looking for something, Daisaku? Ah, Aikawa, why are you so quiet? Were you trying to frighten me? I was not particularly trying to frighten you. Hard to believe when half the people here make death threats or jokes every time they open their mouth. Fortunately for you, I am not those one of those individuals. I would never do anything of the sort. I would never make a threat. I get straight to the point. If I don't think any threats, I just do it. You would see it coming at all. What? For now, you aren't. Who knows what this place can manipulate us into doing? Hopefully, both of us will make it out alive, but before whatever the hell I'll wait till it finally stops being merciful. It'd be left with enough trauma to fill a tub, but at least Kanae might take inspiration from the ludicrous circumstances I found myself in. Who is Kanae? You know what is crazy? It's crazy that Daisuke had a conversation with Mayume about his siblings, and Mayumi still had the gall in the trial to be like, I have brothers and sisters and parents that I can't leave them behind. And I was like, oh, maybe she just doesn't know his circumstances. She knew? Oh, wow. She could just not see the hypocrisy at all. A younger sibling of mine. She sometimes has grim humor, much to my annoyance. Oh, I did not imagine you being an older brother. Yes, I have 2 younger sisters and 1 younger brother. What are they all like? Well, Kanae is the bane of my existence. She loves to play pranks on me and tease me constantly. But despite her foolishness, she is incredibly talented and artistic. Her works never cease to astound me, even if even if it means she's always our parents' favorite. The favorite? Is she somewhat of a golden child, then? I have heard of that term before in regards to family dynamics. I suppose you can describe it that way, yes. However, she also does whatever she can to push away that role. She defends me often when I'm unduly blamed for when everything goes wrong. I appreciate her, despite my complex thoughts on her most of the time. The two other are twins, Asami and Takae. They have a rivalry similar to the one Kanae and I have. I remember when they were younger. Takae was busy working on an extra credit school project, and Asami sabotaged it by drawing monsters all over it. But in the end, the monster doodles actually gave him even more extra credit. The teacher always said he needed to lighten up and be a little more childish sometimes, after all. They all sound surprisingly wonderful, especially when compared to a lame bitch ass like you. Well, damn, I don't even know what half those words mean. Well, it's not like you're assigned to a sibling-like personality once your parents decide to pop out another hellspawn. If I was judging how likely it is for you to have siblings, you'd be the oldest sister, somewhat stern, though mature and caring underneath. I assume by your defenses of Mitama. Mature? Caring? Should I take this as compliments? Well, I think you should decide how you take them. I'm pretty sure you meant it as a compliment, though. Would you rather I bring up how many distasteful qualities you have? I would reciprocate and bring up every awful quality you have in return. I may have to take my comment on being Karen back, Jesus Christ. It does not matter either way. I am an only child, though I have wondered what it may be like to have a younger sibling. This is not the first time I have been referred to as the big sister type. It was somewhat my shtick during high school. Be grateful you don't have to deal with several hellspawns. What? Why talk about your siblings like that? I never said I wasn't one of the hellspawns. Alice is much too good for you. Colette would likely even treat somebody like you with decency down there. Sam, okay. At least you're honest, I suppose. But you're lucky your parents didn't decide to have another child. Though I do care for them, it can truly be a pain. Actually, I would not know whether my biological parents had another child or not. Biological? So you're not with your biological parents? Yes, I am adopted, though it was when I was still barely formed memories. My fathers are the only parents I have ever known. I see. Does it ever bother you? Do you ever feel like you don't belong? Well, personally, I feel like that is quite an inappropriate question to ask when you only found out of my adopted status. But maybe that's just me. I do not. My fathers are incredibly caring. They have not once made me feel out of place. Why is that? You know you're not part of that family. You know you're an outsider. Well, they chose to have her, so she's not an outsider if they brought her in. What are you talking about, Daisaku? You can't possibly feel like you perfectly belong, like you actually care about, like you're a person. Somebody's projected. Daisaku, I have tried my best to tolerate you and to be fair to you, but my politeness is at its last straw. If you dare insult my family further, you really are pathetic sometimes. You project so many of your own feelings onto others, and then insist on being cruel for made-up reasons. Is that why you feel like you're an outsider in your own family and are projecting this onto me this time?
Damn it, the 2-for-1 combo. It's over for me now.
Daisaku, I know full well others may despise me for being adopted. I have suffered others teasing me for having two fathers. But I do not take it out onto other people. I love my fathers, and they are my true family, even if we do not have something as flimsy and breakable as a blood connection. Whether you feel isolated from your friends, your parents, or your siblings, it does not excuse any action of yours.
It's not my fault, Daisaku. It's their fault that they...
Whatever happened, it is a reason, not an excuse.
I don't need to talk to somebody with worthless opinions.
How cruel of you to not want to talk to yourself. Though, maybe some humbleness shall do you a favor.
Why are you so hostile towards me? What did I ever do to you personally? If it was Anazaki Unazami, or perhaps even Mishima, I'd understand, but...
Well, you understand if she was hostile towards Hikari, Chiyuki, or Ryusuke? This was clearly must be like day 3 or something before we got close to him. If I were not hostile, would it not be dishonest, deceitful, manipulative, whatever other word that comes to mind? I respect your want for honest people, those who will not try to use you. I want nothing to do with you. It is simple as that. And if anything, I have shown much more decency to you than you deserve already.
Oh, you've all pinpointed me as a traitorous piece of trash already. What have you ever done for me that wasn't up?
Despite everyone arguing against it, I told you what all of them suspected you of. I don't hate you for whatever traitorous actions they have theorized about. Daisaku, despite what you may believe, I hate you because of your cruelty towards others. I hate you because you blame others for your own wrongdoings. I hate you because right now you only place every single self-hating thought onto others. Not all of us are fools. Take a look in the mirror, and perhaps you may be trusted more. It is wrong for the others not to give you a chance at all, but I understand where they are coming from.
That's stupid and psychoanalyzing again.
It is not psychoanalyzing. I have met your kind before. The kind that lures people into cruel, thoughtless behaviors by taking advantage of their own lack of self-esteem. Your kind turned my best friend into a horrible person like you. A person that... I have said too much. I apologize for that. If anything, I truly hope you may keep all I have said in mind. Have a good day.
I
walked away from Daisaku. I knew he would not understand my words, but I tried anyway, because people like him turned Tsukiko into what she became. Because people like Daisaku only hurt others. They only make others' lives worse. I know that all too well. Even if he has his reasons, I cannot possibly forgive him. I cannot let him continue to hurt others. That's a promise to myself. Unfortunately, I think she was too keen on keeping that promise. So keen on not letting him hurt others, she ended up killing him herself just to get out. How unfortunate. Toshi and Dia.
Yeah, what should I do? I can't find any secret passage or hidden lever. Did all of those mystery books lie to me? Maybe I should give up. I'm sorry, my general. I will get back to you soon. A hero will always succeed. A hero will always succeed. A hero will always... Oh my god, shit.
Huh. Now this is very interesting because I wanted to make this observation before, but I'm pretty sure in the normal, in chapter 1 at least, the character sprites were like more further down on the screen. Like I didn't see this much of Dia before. I would not see the bottom of his sprite before. And that's what makes it interesting. Is that that thing at the bottom looks like a skirt. And what makes that interesting is that because I might put a screen on it, a screen up before, but in the prologue, when there was like the usual screenshot of everyone looking around each other, being suspicious of each other, like what's gonna happen, Kazuyuki was also wearing a skirt, and that just comes back to my theory where Kazuyuki and Dia's hair is similar. They both have skirts. Well, at least it looks like this looks like it could be a skirt to me, and like I said with Kazuki suddenly coming up with a lot of materials for the party, there's so much similarities between Dia and Kazuyuki just physically. And like I said before, the monochrome scarf could be a reference to the canon DR games to like foreshadow him being evil. I just think it's interesting how many similarities there are between Dia and Kazuki. It's just, I feel like there has to be something. Also, Dia is clearly wearing clothes, so who would have designed those clothes? I see what's going on. Or maybe I'm just completely off mark and Kazuki just dies and Kazuki just next victim without any noteworthy things to say. And we don't even talk about it. Like say this game the first trial and I'll cry. Actually, I don't think I said Dia's line. Oops.
You! Gasp! Did a messy villainous robot just terrify the greatest hero of all time? Mm-hmm. Of course not. I was just screaming at you to show my dominance. You're like a red panda when it stands up. Am I supposed to get that reference? Nope. It's a funny little joke inside my own head. As if a villain like you can have a sense of humor.
I mean, you were the one who was congratulating him on getting married, so I don't know what you have to say about that.
I have all 9 senses, thank you very much. 9? Aren't people only meant to have 5? I've evolved so much from the average human being that I've grown far more senses. Didn't you know that I'm from the future? So that's why you aren't capable of such evil acts. What happened in the future? Is it a big apocalypse? It's a vampire wolf apocalypse. Robots are the only thing standing against the immense threat. It is? I knew it. I knew I wasn't making things up when I drew my vampire wolf character. Magic's the vampire wolf is our last hope. So you knew my character's name. You really are from the future.
Yes, I'm really enjoying this conversation.
Yes, I am. We need to... Yes, I am. We need to unlock their rainbow angel demon form with the sword of Kitsune's. How do I do that? I must save the people of the future.
You can. Everybody's gonna die off of that because of your foolish fantasies.
You were messing with me this entire time. I really thought I had the chance to save people.
It is a miracle that you survived this far, you know that?
Don't give up hope. You'll be able to defeat me one day.
Oh, will you?
Don't you dare test me. I will.
Villain like me against a hero like you. Let's see if you end up with a glorious dash.
Try me.
I will.
As soon as Thea said that, I stepped back away for a few moments and then rushed towards them. This was my
Oh, are you gonna jump Dia? Oh.
However, they were faster than I expected. I chased after them, but I couldn't even touch them.
Oh, never mind. We've advanced to another room. Our room transition in these extra character interactions. This is new ground, people.
Eventually, we end up in the ballroom, and my legs get out under me. Uh, Looks like you're not a hero, are you? A true hero getting this tired so early is impossible. I know that, but my warrior training isn't finished. That's why. What a poor excuse. You know already why your training can't ever progress anymore, can't you? Your training ended as soon as you got sick. Don't you know that? You'll get better. That's why I have to try my best every day. That's why I have to inspire others instead.
Stop lying to yourself. Oh, that's a new sprite. Oh, God.
Why are you so mean to us? Yeah. What did we ever do to you? No villain can just be so evil for no reason, right?
I'm just an AI. You know that. I don't have to have a reason.
Even if it's artificial, you can stand up against your programming. You have a heart, don't you? A clack heart or something, and I can steal it. I will make you mine. What would a robot's heart even look like?
It's not as simple as that. You know that, Toshi. Going against what I was programmed to do isn't as simple as doing it. Just like your mentor getting better isn't as simple as hoping for it. No matter how many times you tried to help him, it always ended in failure.
You're wrong. I just haven't tried hard enough. You're not trying hard enough either. Please, dear. You can stop being a villain. You can join us.
You may not have the strength or stamina of a hero, but you sure have the determination of one. Keep on doing that, okay?
You have vanished. Leave me alone with lots of words. I'll try. I'll always try my hardest. I need to save people. I need to help people. I need to believe in people. I can never give up. I'll try, no matter how many times it takes. I promise you, mentor. I promise you that I'll never give up, no matter what, for you, for everybody else I care about here.
Oh, is that it?
It was actually
Very. Asuka and Daisaku Mayumi had very nice interactions with each other. Very nice, like, and know more about the character. Toshi and Dia was kind of just Dia traumatizing Toshi even more. We did learn a bit about him, which was nice. But let's go with Toshi and Mayume. Toshi? Actually, one sec. No, never mind. I thought that the character labeled first and the interaction is always the one who was like the POV. But I think Daisuke and Mayume was labeled Daisuke then Mayume, but Mayume is the one who was the POV, so never mind. But let's try Toshi.
not here either. Why is it so hard to find my favorite series? There's gotta be a DVD around somewhere. The people in charge of this game really have no taste. I don't think I've been this robot writing complaints, though.
Yeah, that is Toshi.
Huh?
Toshi? What are you doing?
Heroin at night. It is the perfect time to assist your general.
Oh my? Did something happen? I will do my absolute best to amend the situation.
A motivational and inspirational tale hidden within a circular piece of polymer material has vanished from my sight. We must seek the very treasure of doom, or doom will fall upon us all.
Okay, I'm leaving. Peace. I'm gonna kill someone to get out of this place. I cannot handle your stupid lexicon any further. Bye-bye. You explained it in simpler terms.
I can't find a DVD of my favorite anime series.
Huh. Well, where have you searched this far?
In the shelves, the cabinets here, in the technology room, in the backstage area, in the technology room again, my room here again, blah 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 blah.
But something I want to talk about is that I didn't really think about it at the time because my brain does not work that well and not that fast, so you have to kind of work with me here, but I was thinking about how in Daisaku's and Mayume's interaction, I feel like that scene really encapsulated why I like Mayume so much, or why I liked her so much during the first chapter. Is that I'm not sure. You probably found out this out about me just by watching this playthrough thus far, but I generally just like nice characters, characters who are just nice people. Those are the characters I tend to gravitate towards. I know some people like the crazy, some people like psychoanalyzing, the batshit crazy people, but I just like people who are just nice. That's all you need, so it's not hard to please me. And obviously Mayume fits the threshold of nice, but really made me like her more than the rest, especially as the daily life of chapter 1 ended, is that she can hold her ground. She doesn't just say, "Oh, okay, that's right." She says, "Excuse me? Say it again. I will end your life with the power of my words." What did you say of my death? Oh, I have a knife. Yeah, that's why I just yeah. And then with her Truth of Crystals, there's like, I think, even though I feel like Dia was a bit on the nose about it, I feel like it's meant to mean, obviously, crystals are generally seen as beautiful, and most people, as Tsukiko said in Mayume's final scene, extra scene, most people would see her as the perfect person, most people would see her as a beautiful person, but in reality, she was fragile, just like many crystals that break easily, they're fragile. Her sense of beautifulness is not a word. You know what beautifulness is now a word? Most people would see her beautifulness, but she, in reality, that beautifulness was fragile. And take a shot every time I said beautifulness, because now you're probably dead. Anyways, let's find Toshi's anime. If you were not able to find it in those rooms, I'm afraid that it may not be here at all.
It has to be here somewhere. I'm always right.
Okay, so Toshi, quick question. Have you ever seen the anime here before, or are you just assuming that it's here? Because I'm going to guess by the end of this scene, you're going to be proven right, but I feel like Mayume is just in the correct here. You are not always correct. I saw what you did yesterday. It was foul.
How dare a heroine fail to follow orders from her general? This is treason.
Yeah?
How dare a heroine fail to follow orders from her general? This is treason, betrayal, deception.
I do not wish to sour your mood, but it is the truth. You are a big fat wrong baby. Though there are many favorable aspects to this place, it unfortunately does not hold all we desire, such as things that brought us comfort and happiness back home. Even the smallest of comforts being unavailable, the may push us further down a dark path. Little by little, the tears of ink drip and drop down upon each blank page, and eventually it will absorb all the darkness until it is pushed to its destruction only by a minor part of what it once was raining.
Should I get a therapist? Like, I feel like kind of, this is like, you're opening a bit too much more than I wanted. I did not want to go this deep today. Is that a dramatic anime monologue or something? Oh, Toshi. If you were speaking to the wrong person, you would so get punched in the face.
Not quite, but I did enjoy my fair share of dramatic and heart-wrenching series a few years ago. These days, I'm unfortunately too busy to revisit the tales of my childhood.
Why?
I just recently entered college for writing courses. Or, recently in terms of my memory. Okay, is that meant to hint towards the characters in this game actually losing their memory? Because I don't think that was ever confirmed. That was a very odd thing to say from MAYUME. Well, I'm just not going to question though. So the work itself isn't too difficult. It is training and keeping me busy. I've been very close to losing my love of aversion due to it, honestly.
I never would want to go to college. No matter what I hear about it, it sounds terrible. All the work, the stress of finally having to be an adult, the hours of late nights staying up, the pressure of not being good enough, of disappointing everyone, of...
Okay, well, Toshi, well, I'm not saying all that is just life, being an adult, that is kind of just life, and that's come from someone who isn't really an adult, even though legally I'm an adult, but like, am I an adult? I think that's in the eye of the beholder.
Amen. Don't worry, my fellow fighter. Your strength is greater than many know. Do not let your love for life be trampled upon.
You are very correct. I am not so weak as to falter from a mere trivial task. Oh wait, isn't Toshi like 16? I remember someone saying that Toshi is younger than a majority of the people here. It was in the prologue, so I cannot remember the exact age. I know he's 17 or 6. I know he's like a bit. I know he's a year younger than Ikari, so I guess that makes sense why he'd be like that, since he's not even gonna have to worry about college for at least another 2 years.
How do you do it? How do you manage to handle all of that, yet still be able to be determined and laugh? I imagine a college student as sleep-deprived, apathetic, tired. But you seem kind and driven. I don't get it.
Well, how do you manage to stay so connected to your inner child? Imaginative, adventurous, optimistic, and energetic all the time. You haven't lost your love for adventure, your love for Russian heroes and fiction.
It's because I have somebody that always reminds me of what it is to be a true hero.
I see. I think I used to have somebody like that. Somebody who made me feel young and unparalleled in the face of anything.
You're doing great, Mayume. You're a fantastic heroine. Please, when you become a full actor, keep spreading your heroism and creativity across the world. You cannot lose this killing game.
Well, now I'm kind of double guessing if I should admire that bitch Daisaku. Thank you, Toshi. That means a lot.
Your words mean a lot to me too, Mayume. You're always already striving so far into adulthood while I'm just clinging on to the last remnants of a fantasy. You're doing better than I could ever hope to do. No need to thank me. Your general will always praise your efforts. That's all I can do, after all.
I think you'd be surprised, Toshi, about how far she had fallen by that point in time. I doubt you two were as different or as far apart as you thought, if you knew what was going to happen in the next few days. But with that said, let's get into the set. Okay, there's actually 3 events that doesn't have Daisaku or Mayume. Oh, that was the last event with Mayume. Oh god, that was the last interaction I'm ever going to have with Mayume, probably. Wow. I actually wasn't prepared for that. I didn't realize that was the last one with her. But let's go into Sanosuke and Chiyuki. Which at the very least, I think I have these two voices relatively down. Toshi and Dia, those are the 2 voices that I do not have down at all. So them having the same interaction is like, damn. I am kind of a little worried for Toshi for the next chapter, because I think I said this before, but I feel like he gives off chapter 2 victim vibes, and I'm like, But I'll talk about that tomorrow at the end of this video, whenever I feel like it. But let's go into the next interaction. Sanosuke and Chiyuki. Oh, the infirmary. Who is this?
Wow, this cabinet is confusing. It's not alphabetical or organized by the type there, or even by what they treat. There aren't even any descriptions on these dang things.
I feel like that's insane skill line, damn it. And there isn't even any description on these dang things. This is what I get for waiting for all of my wounds to heal over time. Yeah, this is Inosuke because he got wounded from being a journalist. Yeah, okay. I like to risk my life for the fun of it. But the hospital trips are not fun. Do not recommend. I'm just in that. My life's already over at this point. Like, cause you got a knife and cut my neck already with it. Come on, Duck. Maybe I should do better to not pass out from blood loss. Once again, do not recommend the blood loss thing. I thought it would make me feel all weird inside. Just made everything go out, and God, I did not feel a damn thing.
Should I be here?
Okay, now I know. I was a little bit, am I just crazy for not realizing that the sprites are gone? But now I know with Chiyuki's sprite, there's either one of two things. Either the text box is more transparent, or the sprites are higher up for some reason. And now I'm kind of confused because now I'm just forgetting what the UI of the entire chapter was. So now I don't even remember. Actually, I think it just might be that the text box is different. I think when Hikari was the main character, or the POV, the text box was red. Well, anyways, hello, Chiyuki. Oh, look who the cat dragged in. A pretty little birdie. Well, well, if it isn't the songbird, what are you doing here?
Ah,
Okay, can I be so honest? Seeing Chiyuki's like full sprite ages her so much. Like if you see her top half, she's like 18, 19. But I feel like the addition of the skirt. She doesn't look it, but I feel like the skirt really gives old woman vibes. I'm not sure if that's just me though. Like the coat over the sweater, the colors, the skirt. It's given old lady outfit, I'm going to be so honest.
Inosuke, I was in the middle of thinking about some things and ended up wandering here. How about you?
I want to die on the inside. Hey, Chiyuki, do you have a gun? Thinking about things and wondering. She is so very vague about it. So she's thinking about something negative. Wouldn't somebody prefer to be alone when they're like that? Especially for her songbird. She hates conflict. Based on our cheerful outlook, I doubt she'd like to be seen in a gloomy mood. Maybe she's not in control of that wandering. I do know some people can blank out and enter a dissociative state, though I haven't encountered those people myself. Well, I have dissociated due to the blood loss, but like, that doesn't matter right now. I'm pretty accident prone, you know. Better to know where all of the usual stuff is before bad luck strikes me again. Who knows? Maybe I'll slip for absolutely no reason whatsoever and end up stabbing someone in the stomach and end up with a broken leg. Again.
Wait, why did
Never mind. Lucky for me, that time was when I was just a bit above toddler age. The whole in-debt thing didn't happen until a few years later, so getting that healed wasn't too much trouble.
That sounds terrible. I am truly sorry you have to suffer through such terrible injuries so often.
Nah, it's fine. You see the smile? It's the smile of life and joy. Hiding all of my thoughts of my inner weak self behind it. I'm actually pretty good at enduring pain. Can you see it through my lovely smile? Yes, I'm making the same joke again in 2 minutes. What are you gonna do about it? I got a bad burn on my arm once. The next day, I continued my journaling right as rain. Most of the accidents I get into involve a lot of little injuries instead of one big one, so hey, it's not too bad.
Still, you should not push yourself and risk your well-being further in the event of another terrible injury. Pushing yourself and your health can lead to devastating consequences.
Devastating consequences sounds pretty sus. suspicious. Is she experienced with that? Pushing her health to the limit, huh? Do a little all-nighter, get crushed by a spotlight, or are we, like, thinking of getting impaled by a spear? Like, what's going on? Uncontrollable wandering may be worsened by a lack of proper sleep and nutrition. Ooh, maybe that explains it. Sounds like you know something about that.
Well, I often push myself to complete as much work as possible in a single day. I make certain scheduled times to eat and sleep, so there is nothing to worry about.
You're pretty bad at excuses. You're a bit of a hypocrite, Songbird.
Hypocrite.
Yeah, a hypocrite. I got your character down within minutes of talking to you. You know, look in my eyes, the dead eyes, the eyes of a fish. They want to be free. Not like I can admit that, though. If they knew how much I thought about everything and everyone, I'd be labeled as a stalker instead of a freak or a class clown. Still, I might as well try to get through to her for my own satiation of fun, and I guess for her sake as well. You care so much about the well-being and happiness of others, but hardly care for yourself. You never apply the same standard to yourself, right? Okay. I will take that, non-jumble mumbled of humbled mess as a gives him out to push it a bit further, huh? Sorry, Songbird. Some people are really sensitive, huh? Kids these days, am I right? What else? Just interviewing them like, ugh, I have to get everything right. Any small detail and I start crying. Ugh, wish I could just kill them. I guess I don't blame him. Or, well, I guess I do blame him, but like, not that much. But hey, there's a lot of random medicine and creams here. Not sure which ones could actually be of help. Unlucky me. Another thing about it, I'm not sure how that would help with your lack of sleep. I'm not sure how creams can help with sleep, but you know what? Good luck with that.
Which wounds do you get most often?
Bruises, probably. Bumping into corners of stuff, accidentally slamming my hand into something hard. I know that greyish purple all too well. Oh, hey! Maybe I should be a body painter. Maybe all the purple can make me into a work of art, you know.
Well, from personal experience, the best treatment usually takes time. You may notice already, but intense heat or intense cold can influence steady healing in different ways, depending on what you need. As for other treatments, if there was a cream made of comfrey in those cabinets, I would recommend using it. It works well, at least from what I may have experienced.
Again with the vague and oddly specific wording. Oh, Rin. How can I write a piece of article with this nut in Barker? Poor girl that pretends she's a Care Bear. She sucks at not hiding her feelings between the lines. What you'd have experienced, huh?
Do not worry. I simply have gotten a bruise once before. Not often at all. It was one time when I was working on a song.
You know the whole thing about journalism is figuring out the truth of stuff, right? That kinda comes with being good at spotting really, really awful liars.
Please, do not worry.
Lucky for you, I am not worried. I'm intrigued, which, you know, for some people could be considered worse.
Intrigued? Should I run in the sky? Your face is turning a very similar shade to your hair color, which kind of makes me feel uncomfortable if I'm being honest. I think I'm gonna go.
Your motto about leading people to the light, empathizing with their pain, and writing songs about it. Makes me wonder what inspired this little career path of yours. I'm worried, but saying that would only make it feel worse. Smiled Sasuke, getting through to everyone another way.
I do not want others to suffer. That is the truth. Let us say that. I'm used to trying to ease my own frequent bruises from times when I was a child. That is all. I cannot say any more, even if I wanted to.
Even if she wanted to. So, something may stop her. Is it like her wandering? Does her mind shut down when she tries? Your secret's safe with me, Minty Fresh. You're a good person, you know that?
Thank you, but what inspired you to say that all of a sudden?
Just thought you needed a reminder. Sometimes a person doesn't hear it enough.
Thank you. But you seem different. Not in a bad way, but in a way that's kind of making me question my morality as a human being. Just different.
Uh-oh. Is she noticing? Gotta run. Excuse me, while I nonchalantly run around the school for no particular reason. Didn't you know? I thrive on being unpredictable. Imagine if I was an NPC with the same 3 lines of dialogue over and over again. Wouldn't that get boring? Man, I'd rather die than be that lifeless. Gotta have the player character throw a sword through my chest.
Oh, Jesus, I regret everything. You went boring.
Exactly, because I'm unpredictable.
Because you have a kind heart deep down.
I need to close my eyes because those dilated pupils cannot see the light of day again.
You said that people do not hear that enough, so I wanted you to hear it too. How would you prefer? I not say that. I completely understand if you would prefer to become in another manner. Let me think. You are a shit human being, and you are disgusting. I hate you.
No. Okay, let's just stop that there. I'm not into that kind of stuff, honey. Or I guess I should say Minty. No, it's not you, Songbird.
Then what is it?
Would you really describe the dead joke guy who harasses people nonstop as blind?
So you are self-aware of your behavior.
Ouch! Ouchie! Oh god, it's a bruise straight to the heart.
Oh, not in a bad way, just in a way where you kind of make every single person in the room hate you and despise you. It's not bad, just unique. I simply assumed that you did not realize how much you bothered others. But you were not all bad. You did not push when I did not wish to discuss troubling topics. If you were a truly relentless bully, would you not force me to admit everything?
So I respect, like, one person's boundaries. I'd hardly call that a kind heart. I'd call it getting bored of life.
Some people struggle to believe that they are kind, or that they are not a burden to others, and that their life has value. Perhaps you are one of those people.
Is this girl overanalyzing me in her head too? Gosh, that is such amazing. Get over it. Nope. You're really reaching, aren't you? You better not fly free with all those wrong assumptions, Miss Butterfly. If you fly too far, maybe you'll end up getting caught by a spider or stung by a bee. That'd leave a pretty gruesome sight for such a pretty little pest.
Your secret is safe with me. Orangey, is that a suitable nickname?
Yikes. Get this woman out of here. I guess nicknames don't come to you easily, huh? I mean, let's think. I have a lot of pink. I have hearts. You could call me harsh. Well, hard. Nah. Guess I'm bad at this stuff too. But thanks, I guess. Guess Cocoon is trying at our nickname game at least.
The quality of that nickname was not very good.
Call me when you get more creative than a color ending with the letter Y.
Be sure to call you soon. Then, Lava Lake.
Are you calling me harsh? I didn't know you felt that way about me, Monarch.
Well, with that name, you might be saying I'm as beautiful as Queen.
Actually, the nickname is based off of the butterfly, but it's still true. You are pretty. See you soon, pretty princess.
Wait a moment!
I ran out of the room, full sprinting, did not look back. Chiyuki barely had a chance to recover after I complimented her. She really is a hypocrite, though. For all the compliments and love she gives everybody, she can barely handle it in return. But I guess we're both hypocrites, in a way. Not like that I'd ever admit that, though. That was a very fun interaction. I forgot how much I loved doing Sainusuke's voice, if you could probably tell, considering how much I was yapping in that. But yeah, God, I hope we get more scenes with them in Chapter 2, and if either of those two die, I'll actually be extremely upset. Even though I was convinced Sainusuke was a Chapter 1 killer, I am very pleased he's not, even though Mayume's dead now, so I guess that is a downside. But still Sainusuke's alive, so that's fun. And I hope Chiyuki doesn't die either. I am worried for Sainusuke though, because he had that whole dramatic scene at the end of Chapter 1, which definitely gave him death flags. But considering how some of his sprites are, I don't know if he's being set up to be the antagonist of the game, which would be interesting. As for Chiyuki, I'm not completely worried about her. I'm like, I don't think she's gonna die next chapter. There's always the fear of it, but considering she was in the title card of Chapter 1, has so much character development. Well, not so much character development, but like, she was prominent in Chapter 1, was involved in like all of the major events that happened. And then Daisaku died, and she clearly was going through some stuff, especially at the end of the trial. I don't think they would kill her that soon afterwards, unless they wanted to subvert her expectations. I guess it's a possibility, but I'm just going to ignore that possibility because I don't think I can handle it. Okay, so hi, this is pre-recording Owler again to give some very unfortunate news about the current situation. And that is, so I stopped this recording session right at this point, the last time you say, I believe it was the Shinsuke and Chiyuki interaction. And I went through the other three interactions, so I experienced them. However, I didn't realize until afterwards that I didn't even record it. So I was just sitting in my room, saying all the voices. I actually thought I had some. I thought I had some okay commentary, some funny jokes. I think the last three were actually the last three interactions were actually my stronger recording session than the other two I did for this extra bonus content video. But you know what? I'm very sad about it, but I don't feel bothered enough to go through the whole three interaction again because I don't think I'll have the spirit to go through it. And even if I do, I'll probably only redo the same jokes I did, and I won't have the same vigor going through it. So I'm just going to give a quick recap of everything that I said during those minutes. The first was the Ryusuke and Colette interaction. Basically, what happened is that Ryu was scared of the dark. He was looking for a flashlight. Colette came in, helped him find a flashlight, and they both bonded over the fact that deep down, Colette is also a scaredy cat, and they would help each other as scaredy cats, and that Ryu would stop overthinking around Colette. And basically, that's when I gave my thoughts like, oh god, Ryu. He trusted Mayume so much. Mayume was the first person in his hell where, at least from my perspective, Mayume was the first person that held for him, where he wouldn't have to overthink. And Mayume ended up being the first killer, and that's why I'm going to mess with his head severely. And I'm hoping that in chapter 2, Colette will be able to help him work through it. And I also wonder how Ryu is going to react, because Ryu is the only person who does know Mayume is dead at the moment. I hope we get to see his raw reaction to figuring out that Mayume got executed, because right now he hasn't really responded to anyone. At least that's what he said at the end of the trial. So I hope we get to see his reaction and how he feels about Mayume dying, because I know what he said was harsh, and I do think he was valid for what he said. But a part of me also thinks like, if you get close to someone, it's easy to feel very emotional about being betrayed at the moment. But I feel like while you think about it, you might be like, ugh, I really didn't want things to end this way, damn it. But then again, he also only knew Mayume for like 5 days, so how close could they really have been? Moving on to the next one, it was Daisuke and Fuka, and that was actually my favorite interaction of the whole eight. I'd say, mostly because Daisaku and Fuka are both on the top half of my character ranking, so I quite enjoy them a lot. Basically, what their discussion was about how Fuka despises Daisuke for what he did and how much a fool he is, and they basically were just bickering the entire time until Daisuke asked Fuka what she thought of Hikari, and basically she said she saw her as someone who'd be an easy victim, would be not really strong willed, rather meek, tries to look at the good in people, and Daisuke said he had a different opinion about her, and that he thought she could become stronger than any of us ever predicted. And I think that is a very interesting opinion of her, but also while thinking about the final scene of the first trial where Fuyuka and Hikari were just in the trial room alone. Hikari was down, she was not feeling it, and Fuyuka was the one to pick her up. So I think it's very interesting to see how Fuyuka actually sees Hikari. Does she still see him as her being malleable, or does she see her as from Daisuke's perspective? Because in the trial, she did kind of step it up, I would say. So I'm interested to see where Fuyuka gonna help her be as strong as she could possibly be, or is she gonna try and malleate her into someone where she could control easily? I'm not sure what direction they're gonna go in, but regardless, it's gonna be so interesting. And finally, we ended with a Daisuke and Kazuyuki interaction, which I would say, for going into it, that was the one I was most unprepared for. Maybe there was another one, but Kazuyuki was kind of irrelevant for this entire chapter, except for making the decorations for the concert. And even other than that, all he really did was kind of agree with Fuyuka about Daisuke being a liability. At least from a memory, that's all Kazuyuki was really proud of. Oh yeah, Kazuyuki was also was kind of in a feud with Asuka, wasn't he? Well, yeah, that was the other thing Kazuyuki did this chapter, annoy Asuka. But yeah, other than that, Kazuki didn't really have much relevance to the chapter, so I was kind of curious why the creator would decide to have an interaction between Daisuke and Kazuyuki in particular. But overall, I enjoyed it. It wasn't that relevant to like more plot heavy moments from chapter 1, but basically they were just talking about how they felt about each other. They called each other ugly. It was a time. Daisuke gave opinions about his appearance, how he thought Kazuki looked homeless, and they kind of in the end they kind of started complimenting each other about how they looked and how masculine they are. And I was like, oh, this is a very interesting way to talk about each other. Do you guys like each other or not? Or do you guys like each other in that way? And I was like, oh. I don't. I'm just saying what it was very lash. But yeah, it just ended with um Daisuke thinking that, well, Kazuyuki said that he already accepted he's not a conventionally attractive person, but then Daisuke gave him some tips about how his very sharp jaw and natural brown hair is very attractive from this country. And I'm like, okay, Daisuke, whatever you say. And it ended up with Kazuki smiling, and I was actually horrified by Kazuki's smile. I despise it. I was thinking, oh God, Kazuki, happiness is not a good look for you. Stay depressed. Stay off the antidepressants if you want to get someone. You look better while depressed, trust me. And then they closed off the video with go into their truths, the truths we already realized. And I already talked about Mayume's truth of crystals, But the first one I talked about was Fuka's Truth of Whispers. And all I really said about that was it was probably like the voices in her head telling her how incapable she was, or maybe the people she failed as a bodyguard were haunting her in her sleep, and the whispers were the people who she let down, always creeping slowly into her head. That kind of stuff. It is quite of an on the nose explanation, but I can't really think of anything else other than that. So sue me, I guess, if you despise that explanation that much. And the other one we did was Siniske's Truth of Paradise, and that was a very more innocuous word than shadows, earthquake, whispers, or crystals. But the best understanding I can come from with that kind of truth is that maybe is Siniske's the sort of view of what a paradise could be. Because clearly from chapter one, Siniske's idea of fun is quite different from what everyone else's description of fun is. Siniske, as a journalist, likes going into dangerous situations, getting into fights, life and death situations, death traps. He likes all those things where no one person will be like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Yeah, Siniske, come here. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Like, let's just smoke something instead. Why not? Let's smoke something. Yeah. And it's like, oh no, that's just like death trap. I want to die. And it's like, okay. So I feel like the harm Sinisky might have caused due to his unique view of the world, and it's the sort of view of paradise. His paradise is the death traps, and the people he harmed from that could be what I could see his truth being related to, and how he harms people just because of his view of paradise. That's all I can come up with. And with that said, that's all you missed because I was a fool, as Daisaku would say, and I made a very, very funny joke about fool being a slur in Daisaku's community, but that will never hit the light of day now because I'm recording this afterwards. But with that said, yeah, with that said, what is there to be said? Not much. I'm just recording this on the cuff because I couldn't be bothered to write a script. So yeah, tomorrow that's going to be a Notion video because usually I have Notion videos on Saturday, but because I posting this video on a Saturday, just because I don't want the bonus content to be an episode on on the weekdays, and because we're on a Friday anyway, it just works out. I decided to push the Notion video to tomorrow. And yeah, next Monday, following Monday, whenever that is, I'm too lazy to look at the date because I'm recording this way in advance. If you want to know how far in advance, I'm pretty sure I said this in one of the trial episodes, but the first episode of this playthrough hasn't even been uploaded yet, so I'm recording this far in advance. But yes, with that said, next Monday I will be beginning chapter 2 of Jikoronpa, Laments of Despair, and I really hope it is as exceptional as chapter 1. Yeah, closing thoughts of chapter 1 was just that I feel like the daily life dragged on a bit, but the investigation and trial were really invested and I really enjoyed them. Yeah, see you next Monday for chapter 2 of Jikoronpa. I hope you stick around for it. Bye bye.